Back on your screens again. This is Joy Prime, and you are watching BMPS. Guess who is back? Kofi Hayford. I'm your host for Bald, Muscled, Pot-Bellied, and Skinny. And I'm going to be doing this with my G's.
Yes, sir.
The G's connect.
We're back.
Nanye representing the bald, Possible representing the skinny, and Jason representing the muscled. I want to say thanks to Dr. Pounds for holding it down for me in my absence. Today, though, we're looking at Father's Day. The aftermath of Father's Day has been very interesting. If you're a father and you're watching, I don't know how many gifts you received on Father's Day, but hey, what we're going to be discussing over here is quite pertinent, if I should say, and also very sensitive. We want to find out, are fathers irresponsible as perceived by society? I don't know your thoughts, but you can join in the conversation by using the hashtag BMPSonJoy Prime. And very, very, very soon we're getting into the conversation. I am Kofi Hayford again, and I'm your host. Charlie, the Father's Day, well, I think, are you a father?
But I didn't be a question. That
you know.
Charlie, so Jason, you know, when we were at the snooker table, you were talking about Father's Day not having any aura around it whatsoever.
Well, this year's one was a bit better.
Better than
I don't know why. I think probably there was enough publicity about it, or probably the fathers are complaining now, so attention is being drawn to it. But this year was a bit better, even though it could have been better.
You know, the interesting thing was that a week prior to Father's Day, someone actually sent me like a Father's Day message, and
because they were confused.
Yes, and I said, yo, it's not today, it's next week.
I remember we were even having an argument when exactly it was. Yeah, the week before we were also.
But why is
even
it like
we
that?
the fathers were confused.
Let's even look at it from that point before we get into the dynamics of it. Why is it even like that? Why is it that there is not so much attention on Father's Day?
Because men doesn't actually even deserve attention.
What? Like you?
Excuse me?
Your father?
When I gamed you,
oh, he's a father.
First of all, wait.
Are
He's
you
a father.
Wait. Yeah,
he's a father.
Wait.
This has
You were talking by the pool side, pool table, right? I gamed JC.
You won one.
Yeah. I saw
You saw it. You saw my shot. Did you see my shot?
I did.
I didn't see anything.
Except that you won it because he fouled.
Is that not winning? Is that not winning?
It is.
He didn't even finish.
I mean, you know,
It doesn't matter.
What's your point?
So, no, but honestly, what do you need the attention for?
Oh.
You be man, Charlie, wake up, go hustle, then take and give the woman, make it chop. Why you do want attention for what? Like,
No, but he has
you get Father Christmas.
Yes and no.
You get Father Christmas. Then get Mother's Day. Focus on women. Father Christmas today focus.
Christmas be the fathers now. The son go buy gifts.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it be father. They not talk say Mother Christmas. So you get Christmas.
But I mean, nobody they argue say.
No, you they be say why say men did not get attention like the way the women they get attention.
So you say men should not get attention.
You have Christmas.
We have Christmas.
But
Yes,
Father
Father Christmas.
We still spend on Christmas.
This guy,
for
what's
women.
wrong?
That is what I'm saying. It's not. He didn't ask whether it's spending or. He was like, why say men know they get attention like the women?
Yeah, why fathers?
Exactly. You
So
know
why
they talk about
do you
spending.
feel men should not get attention?
Because you have Christmas, Father Christmas.
This guy's not making
So
sense.
for Christmas, in opposite,
The whole year. Maybe, see, women get one, you two, you get one. You still want can hustle women for.
So women know they spend Christmas.
Come on.
women know they chop Christmas.
But another, you see, why they get them wrong? They say,
So make us
the
understand.
issue be say Mother's Day, the mothers get love.
They get all the
Father
love.
Christmas, as you are saying.
Fathers give love.
So
Why
it's
can't
all
we
give,
get-
give,
what
give
can we
for the
get?
men.
Women, it's all receive for the
Do
women.
you think men should get love?
Just
You
a
don't get
little.
love for house like you now born. You don't get love like you now born.
I really want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Pounds again for handling this guy because. But let me also remind you viewers that we're seated at Superb Lounge right here in Kokomle.
Somebody give you. Sorry. Somebody give you love. You now born. You still the sun can beat whether you forget love.
But Nanya, let me find what do you think about this?
So obviously, women get love in terms of from a mother's perspective. You know, I think when it comes to looking after children, the societal expectation is that women are supposed to be the ones looking after, right? So I guess women have always been associated with looking after children, right? And if there is this whole, obviously, negative view of men not looking after their kids. I think you should probably even celebrate the men who do a lot more, because that is more of a motivation to try and push
in the effort.
for men to actually continue to do that.
Right.
The rubbish that this guy's saying, I mean,
Which one is the rubbish?
honestly think,
Relax,
look,
relax,
first of all, I took some time off, obviously, on the shooting.
Right.
So I'm back. So I've been reminded of how
I
how
totally
things
forget
were
it.
with our boy here.
I totally forget that he's
Charlie.
that's-
No, but I feel like
don't
men
mind
should
them.
get
Make you
more
don't mind them.
attention, you know, because it's not easy on both fronts. Men have been responsible for trying to put food on the table over a very long time,
Right.
and no one's ever really acknowledged them as much. So yeah, if men are getting more attention this time, then I'm all for it. Absolutely.
Jason.
The Jason top now you could go.
So I personally feel we men are to be blamed one way or the other.
Why?
I'll come to that. And also the women are also to take part of the blame. The thing is, just as he said, okay, men don't need attention. And it's true.
Why?
You see,
Me, I need attention.
hold on, no, I'm
Why?
coming.
Why? Are we not human?
Me, I'll tell you that.
Don't we have
I need
feelings?
attention. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that for the longest time, we keep putting up this bravado, machismo
Which one
type
is
of
that?
attitude. Go and look for it in the
Just
dictionary.
into the toss and English. Which one to
That,
bravado?
that makes it look, don't mind it. I understand you. Which makes it look like
Yo,
we
do
don't
you understand at home?
We don't want
Bravado
explain myself?
machismo.
So basically, we make
Yeah.
it look as if we don't need attention. We make it look as if we don't want it. But truth is, once in a while when we get that attention, it motivates you to a large extent. But for the longest time, for instance, I remember the one time I wished my granddad a happy Father's Day. God bless his soul. He was in the room. I went there early morning. I was like, oh, Dad, before he was about to leave for church. It's like, oh, Papa, happy Father's Day. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think I started with you on that.
But if I go to my grandmom on a Mother's Day and I go and wish her, oh, thank you. She'll call me, she'll hug me. Oh, sometimes even go to the extent of saying, because you've come to wish her, she wants to pray for you and bless you.
Right.
You see, men have made it look like it's just because
Is it
the way
men
we
or
are
the
brought
pressure
up.
from society
It's the pressure,
for men?
exactly. It's the pressure from society.
Uh-huh.
It's made men to a larger extent not even know how to react to compliments. Daddy doesn't really care about the wish.
Right.
So then you do it once, you do it twice. The third time you do it and he doesn't even bother. He won't even complain. But make a mistake and Mother's Day, you don't wish your mom. You can be disowned. You understand? So it makes you feel like, look, on Mother's Day, by hook or crook, you need to wish your mom, you need to buy something for
your mom.
But Daddy, if you don't do it, cry, he's not
Doesn't
bothered.
really
He
care.
doesn't care.
I remember I called my dad on Father's Day, and then I wished him a happy Father's Day. And just like you said, he said, thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
And then I started to tell him, Charlie, you know we go blow, so relax, everything, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't react. He
will
was
brush it
rather
off.
asking me about something I had talked to him about
Exactly.
weeks earlier. And so, I think I agree that men should take part of the blame. But let's not also shift attention, so much on the fact that it's just Father's Day. I think what we are really trying to get into is whether men or fathers are irresponsible as society perceives.
No, they are not.
Possible. I want to pick your thoughts.
He will say the fathers are irresponsible. That's for him.
Are you a responsible father? Because I understand you're a
I mean,
father.
first of all, who is an irresponsible father? And who is a responsible father?
Are you asking me?
You are
Define it for
asking
us.
the question.
Define
Yeah, I'm
that
asking
for us.
you.
In
You're
your
asking
own
me.
understanding.
So who is an irresponsible father?
What does irresponsible
Somebody the
mean?
woman born, he talks say be irresponsible. You see somebody will be irresponsible way in the woman born. Somebody way born way run away, way be irresponsible. Aside that, I don't know about anybody because see, situations can let people think you are irresponsible.
You are irresponsible. That's true. That's very
So based
true.
on your understanding, yeah, how
Based
would
on-
you answer his question?
What I'm saying is that is the reason I'm saying that from what she is asking me, who will be irresponsible to him? Then I can tone my submission.
Who's
on that.
responsible to you?
Somebody way in there, somebody one way.
where you
run.
know left.
Okay.
You being irresponsible.
You know they even bother.
But what if like you are there, right?
But that person to man you say situation to go fit make it run.
Yeah. Very true.
That don't mean say he be irresponsible. He get her.
I agree
He
with
go
him on
do.
that.
Very true. Very true.
But Charlie, the girl will test you or you. I'm pregnant. then you go drop your phone, boah, pressure. Yeah, because see, then somebody go talk say, if you know you are not ready for it, why did you go in for it? We are enjoying ourselves. Who knew this thing would happen?
It's true.
I mean, if you're enjoying, they forget about everything. If you even dash your house safe, people
That
dash
be
them
you,
house.
me, I don't go dash my house.
Yeah, at all.
I don't go
That's
fit
just
dash
you.
my house. Sake of
You get houses
what,
to dash there.
20
fair.
minutes of pleasure, then you go dash house.
Hey, I sure.
How?
But cool, go on.
Possible. We did hear you.
You did there. Your soul self, you dash. Your soul. Your soul self, you dash. I know say you dash your soul self before. Your soul.
Wait, that's all I dash am to.
Yeah,
Your soul self, you dash and when
I dash am to
they
who?
mismantle you. They do you basa. Because if you don't give everything to woman no go fit dismantle you. You dey agree with me?
I get
Yeah,
it.
so you give your soul self to woman, your body, your soul, then your entire everything. Because that time then you no blue like this. You no be nobody.
What's the point of going to
The
the
point
pool and
be
just
say
dipping your feet?
then like you get something and like you go take dash the woman because the woman they give you make you enjoy. So listen, no, the fact say somebody run no dey mean say it be irresponsible. May it get how you go do, but the thing they scare am, yo, baby food right now no be easy. Maybe you no get job, you no dey do anything. Where situation make you run? I be you dey understand. So me irresponsible father be somebody where you get,
But you know what do.
you no wan do.
Don't be
Yeah.
responsible.
That one be responsible.
Yeah.
It different from the person where he no get where he run. He dey run away from the situation whereby you go fit kill him. Cause he living is more. It be better pass he go die. If you die, you die. But if you run, where you go make him, where you come back, where the kid get 20 years safe. You go fit do what? Come back then can't support from there. But somebody he get patrol. Even then the woman enjoy pregnancy come. You go tell the woman say no be am. But then also it dey depend on the woman. Maybe the guy himself knows say I am not the only person you are doing what?
Doing that way.
Doing that with.
Yeah, but I mean, in that
I
example,
think that is a bit different.
Yeah.
But
No,
before
but if pregnancy come-
before you go on, Nanya, do you agree with his definition of an irresponsible father?
It's a definition, right, in one aspect. But I feel like it goes a bit more. You can also be, for example, you can actually be involved or be around in a child's life. But I think when you look at the development of children and the actual involvement as a father as well, there is some room for improvement in a lot of spaces, right? Because I remember when I was growing up, there were times where I was around kids who their idea of father was more of the punishment arm, right? It was like, I'll tell your father. It was never really you have a relationship with your father, this and that. So I had a lot of friends that were scared of their dads. Like
a lot.
they didn't, you know, it was more
that's
of
true.
mom gives them the loving care
Right,
as
right,
parent, and then father is like the correctional
But why
facility.
do you think mothers do that anyway?
I
Don't you
think-
think mothers also play a part?
Absolutely,
in-
absolutely. I think, look, at the end of the day, responsible parents is a combination of the two working together, right? But sometimes when you're in society, you have gender roles and you have your own understanding of gender roles, it shifts the focus of certain responsibilities elsewhere. So it shifts the whole nurturing thing to mother and a correctional facility to father.
Yeah.
That's what the standard was. It's changing in some aspects, and I think you'll find that most of the situations where that's different, it's related to the income, the household income as well of families.
Okay, I want you to hold on right
Yeah.
there. We're going to come back to
All
you
right.
and then you can continue.
Cool.
You're still watching BMPS and we're discussing, fathers in general, trying to find out if fathers are irresponsible as perceived by society. We're seated right here at Superb Lounge in Kokomlemle. I'm Kofi Ford, your host. Keep it locked right here.
If the father sits down in the living room with all the family, then that means there's a problem. They are probably coming to
That's
discuss
the only
something.
time they come on.
Yes. You won't have the fathers playing. So that's why I said it's both ways. The women have a role to play, and even the men have a role to play.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Joy Prime. This is BMPS, bald, muscled, pot-bellied, and skinny. And as you know, this is where we scrutinize issues from a man's perspective. And luckily today we're talking about fathers. So yes, we get to digest issues. I want to go straight to Jason and find out if you agree with Possible on who an irresponsible man is, or father is, actually.
Yes and no. Yes and no in the sense that he pointed out that if the father leaves, he's irresponsible, which I agree with. But even with those who stay, sometimes to an extent, unconsciously, our mothers actually make the fathers look irresponsible. I'm not saying they make them they make them look irresponsible in the sense that we all know growing up, most of us are closer to our mothers than our fathers. Our father seems to be that disciplinarian. Everybody is. Yeah. You do something, you go like, oh, papa ba,
yeah, right.
So you always have this reverence for your dad. Now what happens is, most often these fathers would go out to town to go and hustle, make the money and come back. But because you can't go to your father for the money, you go to your mom. You go to your mom, she tells you, oh, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Comes back, gives you the money. Now the mistake there is that because constantly you go to your mom with these problems and they give you the money, you don't seem to even realize that the money is coming from your dad.
Father.
At least what the mothers can do is, oh, Jay, you said you wanted this amount of money. Here, take it. Your dad said I should give it to you. Go and tell him thank you. So at that point, you know that, oh, this is what daddy is doing. Because whether we like it or not, the man's role seems to be the provider. It's an African thing. We've agreed, whether it's Western or not, I would only deal with Africa. We've agreed that the man is supposed to be the provider. You go out there, you work, you bring, and then the woman makes the home. So since we are constantly around the mother, there's a high tendency of having a soft spot for your mom and feeling like your mom is the best thing in the world. Maybe after her, then your dad comes. So I feel like to an extent, even the mothers play a role, but they don't even seem to realize. And you can't blame them because it's been like that since it's our societal norm. It's been like that since most of our mothers were even kids. They are scared of their dad.
Why don't you think? Why do you think mothers don't try to change the narrative?
Human beings actually don't easily like change. If that's the norm, we would rather go ahead with it than, for instance, I can easily tell the women in my family, let me put it that way because I was raised by women mostly. I can easily tell them, oh, auntie, I love you. Auntie, I miss you. Auntie, I love you. But the men in my family, you dare not tell. Like, I see my uncle and go like, oh, Charlie, Uncle Louis, I love you. Go like, yo, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? Yeah. You see, we make it look like a man has to have a certain quality or certain qualities.
Yeah.
And immediately you do the opposite, then it makes it look a bit different. So we are more eschewed to be closer and softer with our mothers as opposed to fathers. So the father now becomes that disciplinarian figure that you barely see. Like there are some families where if the father sits down in the living room with all the family, then that means there's a problem. They are probably coming to discuss.
That's the only
something.
time they come.
Yes. You won't have the fathers play. So that's why I said it's both ways. The women have a role to play, and even the men have a role to play. Me, I've personally told myself that whatever upbringing I had, which I feel was not the best, I would correct it.
Yeah.
So even with my kid sister, there are days when I'll just call her randomly and go like, yo, you know I love you, right? She goes like, yeah, I know. And then that's it. I just want to instill that new way of living, at least in her. So that one day, even if I'm not there and she happens to give birth and she marries, give birth and she has a husband,
She'll have some expectations from the husband.
Exactly. She'll know how to find a way to let the...
She not marry yet. I do.
My sister is a minor. If you try it out.
No threats, we beg.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. So at least if I'm not there, she would be able to instill this in her kids, so that you see, we are used to a family system of the mother is the good one, the dad is the. It needs to end. Why can't children see both parents as loving and as disciplinarians at the same time? You understand? It's high time we did something about it.
About what?
On what he's saying?
He will not agree.
Oh. Jason has said a lot. You understand it?
But
what I'm saying, that fine, I agree with him.
To an extent, not everything, I guess.
Because, I mean, your sister is your sister. If you want to tell somebody you love, then tell your daughter, because you have a daughter.
Oh, she has it every day.
So, sorry, let's your father tell your sister that I love you, right? You know I love you, right?
Unfortunately, he's not around.
Oh, your dad is not around.
Yes, so I'm playing the father figure.
Oh, okay.
So possible, as you go on, I would want you to chip in your thoughts on whether you actually, believe whether or not men are irresponsible as society perceives.
I don't think so. I don't think so because see, let's just say out of 100%, all right, you could say maybe you can't say 10% of irresponsible. You can't generalize it like 10% of irresponsible fathers makes every father and irresponsible.
Well, I think normally when people say fathers
I feel like you know, men don't really come out to complain like the way women do.
Women do. That's true.
You understand? So whatever a man is going through, or whatever a man is, just like Jason said, I am the one providing for the home. But then you wouldn't let the kids know I am the one providing for the home. I don't have time to come and explain to my kids that, yo, you know that I'm the one giving you money and all that. No. And mind you, every man who loves the woman or the wife always want to give the wife some face of, and when it comes to the, like managing.
So why isn't it reciprocated? That's my problem. Why isn't it reciprocated?
No, because at the end of the day, women always want to be seen as the good ones. Or you don't know, like naturally, women want to be seen as a good one. So even in a home, or person who say, yo, I am.
Why do they do that? I don't know if we can answer that.
But the thing is, women want to do that. But with a man, a father, he's not bothered. Whether you see me as the devil or not, he doesn't care.
But one thing, and I'll pick it from your submission. You mentioned that it wasn't, not like it wasn't possible, but you weren't used to asking your father for money, you know. But why don't you do it? Like, why don't you?
You can't, because growing up, he was the one who, when it is time for good stuff, your birthday parties and stuff, your mom will do everything. Your dad just provides money and he leaves to town to go and hustle. But when you misbehave, they'll tell you. No,
you know why?
Yeah. You know why? Growing up, you start fearing your dad.
Kofi, you know why? Imagine that even at workplace, your boss, who doesn't really show up, whom you don't really see,
you barely see him every day.
Like you fear him than like the boss that you regularly see.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? So if you see your mom all the time, and then like your mom is making you like you go around your mom all the time, and you don't see your dad, and then the only time you see your dad is yo, oh my catch him. So why you say sit here? Why did you do this? Why did you go out? Why did you wash your day? Say.
So you won't go for your dad.
Automatically, you can't be open to your dad.
Yeah, you won't.
You go to your mom, and your mom will pamper you. Oh, okay. But at the end of the day, at night, your mom will go and do what? Talk to your dad.
So are we saying that women are the cause of this particular
play a role of
70%.
Then that's what I'm saying.
Of the women do that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like I was saying to Jay earlier, that like you'll find the dynamics are very different in well-off families. In well-off families, you'll see it's actually the other way around.
It's the other way around.
And I think it's the time factor. The time, you know, when you said that his dad was going out to hustle, right? Yeah. Because in that situation, that's all you have. You have to try and hustle to go and make the money. When you're well off, a father can be around quite often, and you'll see that the fathers are very involved. Like well-off fathers are very involved with their kids because they have the time.
Right.
It's that time factor, so they're able to do the both. And in fact, well-off in well-off situations, the father is well-off. The mom probably would be hustling more to do something interesting with her life, right?
Yeah.
So there is more of a division of roles within that family. And you see that in Ghana, like, especially the middle class in Ghana, you see that all the time, right? Where the man is actually involved, they're taking their daughter out here and there, very overprotective of their daughters, etc., etc.
Day out, stuff
pastors and their children is a very good example.
I think the narrative is changing gradually.
It is changing.
For example, let me land. For example, these days when you go to the malls, like I was saying the other time, when you go to the malls and all these parks and whatever, you're going to see a lot of fathers who are with their children and most
if they
of the
can
times,
afford to be. See, they usually can afford to.
So I think we also fathers should also take this up, you know, and try to change the.
In the words of possible the other day,
status quo.
Make money.
Of course he is.
Yeah, but you can't make money and lose your family.
Listen,
exactly.
Then
that's what happens.
Then also, imagine this. Like, use this scenario. Do you know that even the Father's Day that we were talking about, that okay, fine, right now it's actually gaining some
bit better, but there's more room.
People wish and go like, Happy Father's Day to
all responsible fathers.
Yes.
But on Mother's Day, you wouldn't say
Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, so
you see mothers as every mother is.
Right. So as we try to wrap up, what is the take home? Is it that, you know, men or fathers should come into the picture more by themselves, or mothers should, you know, help change the
both?
I think men should be able to speak out, and then should be able to connect with their kids from tender age. Let them know that I am the man of the house. I am doing this for you, and even though you discipline them, I am doing this for you. Doing that.
Nanye.
And paternity leave would help. Wink, wink.
Okay. Not only
whoever's listening, paternity leave would help.
Right, Jason, your thoughts, pick one.
I think the onus falls on both the men and the women. I think men need to do more. At least you hustle Monday to Friday. We know that. But that weekend you spend with your boys, you can try and make time for your kids.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be you, the kids, and the mother. Sometimes take the mother out of the equation.
Yeah.
Because these kids are used to their mothers.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to form a bond. So take them out. Go like, you know what, mommy, and then what bread? Rest, sleep.
Yeah.
I'm taking the noise away. Go and deal with it.
Right.
You get to have some
Right.
rest. But also at the same time, too, mothers need to put in some effort. You know, it's high time our generation we change the narrative.
Right.
Gone are the days when our parents made it look like our fathers are some beasts that we need to be scared of. Look, you can love and respect somebody. You don't necessarily need to fear the person before you
Right.
respect
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And the truth is, respect which comes with love is the best, as opposed to respect which comes with fear.
Yeah.
Because immediately the fear is not there any longer,
No love.
Gone.
then the respect is gone.
Well
So we
said.
need to do
Well said. I think Possible doesn't agree that it's
He's
ever
not
going to
correct,
change,
Joe
but
Madden.
we'll see. But yes, we're saying that fathers are equally responsible. Well, maybe it might not be 50-50, but there are so many fathers who are responsible and so many fathers that are trying to change the status quo when it comes to fatherhood. But if you're a father and you are listening to us right now, what we're saying is take charge and show up in your
Some fathers
child's
don't even know how to show
life.
love. They can't
Please
show
learn
love.
how to show love. Yeah. But yes, fathers are doing incredible. They are doing amazing. And we're going to keep this conversation going. So please use the hashtag BMPS and also BMPS on Joy Prime. I did this with Jason, Nanye, and Possible. I ended with Possible because he's the skinny, small, tiny, and I am Kofi Hayford representing the Potbelly in BMPS. Once again, thanks to you, Dr. Pounds, for holding it down in my absence. Shouts to my producer, Victor Brache, and of course my director, IB, and all the technical team. We're out.